Beautiful by Peg Karen. Did you ever think about how important hair is? It's the first thing when anyone describes another person. She is blonde, they'll say, or he's a redhead. Shampoo ads make it seem like a person's hair is the only important thing about them. As long as your hair is shiny, bouncy, and free of dandruff, you have no problems. With so much emphasis on hair, it's small wonder that I came unglued when I found out I was going to have to lose mine. I didn't cry when I had the CAT scan, and I didn't cry when the doctor told me about the brain tumor. But when I found out I was going to have my head shaved, I cried. My mom said my hair grew back, and my dad said I could wear a wig, and my brother Sid said how much time I would save in the bathroom each morning. My sister Janie was the only one who understood. She said that it was terrible that I had to be bald, and she didn't blame me one bit for crying. The surgery went even better than expected. The tumor was small and not malignant. When I woke up, I was weak and woozy, but for the first time in months, I didn't have a headache. But when I looked in the mirror, I almost threw up. I looked like one of those mannequin heads beauty shops display wigs on. I was smooth and white and round and ugly. I never saw anything as ugly as me with no hair. At my second checkup, the doctor removed the stitches and said I could go back to school half days. I was scheduled to start that next Monday afternoon. I didn't want to go. How could I go to school looking like a freak? Even if I wore a wig, everyone would know that it was a wig and stare at me. What if the wig fell off? What if some creepy boy pulled it off? I said I would rather dance barefoot in a barrel of thistles than go back to school without any hair on my head. I told my parents that if I had to go back to school bald, I would run away and sleep in the cave and eat wild berries. They said I couldn't just sit around and feel sorry for myself and do nothing but wait for my hair to grow out. My mom said if I didn't want to wear a wig to school, I could wear a turban. I said a turban would be even worse, and I refused to get either one of them. My dad said to be thankful I was alive and to quit complaining about my lack of hair. Sid asked me to go to his homeroom because he had bet some kid 50 cents that his sister was bald. Janie didn't say anything. I said I would be a freak for the next 6 months, and I would never be happy again until I got my hair back. My dad said to quit calling myself a freak, and I said one bald girl in the whole school is most definitely a freak. When Janie and Sid left for school on Monday morning, Sid started to remind me about his 50-cent bet until Janie poked him and told him to be quiet. The minutes dragged by that morning. I dreaded walking into school and having everyone stare at me. I dreaded being different from all the other kids. I never felt more alone than I did that morning until I waited until it was time to go. I was miserable, and I knew when I got to school that I would be even more miserable. I couldn't eat lunch. I just sat there staring at my cheese sandwich and waiting for Janie. I had asked her to come home that afternoon and go back with me so that I wouldn't have to go to school the first time alone. Maybe she wouldn't come. She probably decided that she didn't want to be seen with a freak. Who could blame her? Try not to cry. It was bad enough I had to be bald. I didn't want my eyes all swollen and red too. I heard the front door open and I heard Janie say, "Are you ready to go?" I swallowed hard, trying to get up my courage. The way I figured, she went on, Sid's friends owes him $1. I was about to say that there was no way I was going to parade my bald head around in front of Sid's friends, and then I turned and saw her. Janie had skipped class that morning instead of going to her morning classes. She went downtown and got her head shaved. She was smooth and white and round, just like me. I sat still as stone as with the full impact of what she had done sank in. When we got to school, everyone stared just like I knew they would. But I wasn't miserable. I wasn't miserable at all. I was happy. As I marched down the hall with my head held high and my beautiful sister behind me, I knew that some things were way more important than hair.